Hey, what's up guys? Alain Uy, and I am an actor. My journey to becoming an actor started actually, funny enough, as a martial artist. I was fascinated by movement when I was a kid. Growing up here as an immigrant, I was pretty shy. Movement, martial arts, and then eventually dance really kind of brought me out of my shell. It allowed me to express emotions and things that I couldn't really express verbally. And that really was the beginning of my journey in terms of performance arts. And from there, I went to a study abroad program over in Oxford University. And that's where I discovered the theater. I met somebody over there and she introduced me to theater. And we would go down to London and watch plays. In fact, I remember the first play we watched, and it was an Oscar Wilde play starring Liam Neeson. And I just remember being completely blown away by what I was watching. It was arresting to see these actors live out emotions. And so that's where the obsession started for me. And as soon as I came back from that study abroad program, I came home and I told my parents, hey, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to be an actor. They laughed at first, like, oh, that's cool. You're going to be an actor. I don't think they knew how serious I was. And it wasn't until I started really throwing myself into the craft, that's when my mom was like, okay, if you're going to do this, make sure you give it all your attention, like 1,000%. And that's what I did. And, of course they were worried like any other parents, or in this instance, a lot of Asian parents are very, always worried about like, hey, are you going to be okay with this? But, they've always been really positive about all the things I would be interested in, like be it dance, music, acting, anything that I was interested in, they were fully behind. So it was good to kind of get that backing from my parents. The whole pandemic has affected truly everybody. I had a lot of plans, like I'm sure everybody had, going into the new year, and all of that stuff was thwarted by this pandemic. And how it has affected me and my art is that it has in some ways made me focus on other things, other personal projects that I've always wanted to do. And so I've been writing and developing some ideas. I've been trying to lock down some books that I want to get the media rights to. It has stopped a certain aspect of the art, but it has also allowed for other parts of my life, parts of my creative interests to take hold and to develop. And like anything else, you find ways to adapt. So although I can't enjoy a lot of the press junkets in person or go to Comic-Con, which I was really looking forward to going, it allowed me to adapt and find ways to enjoy myself and to promote the projects that I was involved in. And so I've had to adapt like everybody else using Zoom. I have had to overcome a lot of challenges as it pertains to visibility and representation in the film industry. When I first started acting, this was, late 90s, early 2000s, and there wasn't a lot of representation in TV or the movies. And so it was difficult to maintain your optimism and to maintain the drive to push through. That was the biggest challenge for me, is to not let the self-doubt be so critical that it would prevent me from actually pursuing my dream. Other challenges obviously are like not looking Asian enough, surprisingly. Just normal life challenges, like being able to have money to pay for your bills and to be able to have time to, go to auditions. Those are the challenges that I think every artist goes through, is monetary versus your art and your craft. And I think that's one of the things that we've tried to find a balance, which is impossible to do. But you find a way to do it. I think art is extremely essential. It's part of the fabric of our culture. Music, dance, film, even architecture, All of these disciplines allow us to express ourselves as a community, and it's a reflection of who we are. To me, what it means to be Filipino-American is to make sure that I carry that cultural responsibility forward. And there is that sense of responsibility that I have to make sure that I represent my culture very well. What being Filipino-American means to me is to be able to be part of this community, to enrich the other folks in our community who might be looking for help or who might be looking for some kind of example that shows them that anything is possible. If someone out there were to be able to see me and say, oh my God, he was able to pursue his dreams and to find some success in it, I think that's in some ways what I am responsible for. I think having FPAC back is integral to our community. It allows us to showcase the many talents that we have in the community, the many artists that are producing and creating things that keep pushing forward the narrative that is Filipino-American. I think it's important to have that. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope I didn't bore you. And thank you to all the artists out there, because without you guys, my life and everybody else's life won't be as enriched. Your work is important, so keep pushing, keep striving for better. And thank you so much for watching.
Kamusta? Please take a moment to share and like this video. Subscribe to our FilAm Arts channel, hit the notification button, and follow us on our socials on Instagram and Facebook at FilAm Arts LA. Help us by pushing the FilAm Arts agenda and advocating for representation for the FilAm artist.